You guys ready, yeah? Okay, I'm going to start with my lecture. Okay, I'm going to stop when we reach to the activity. Right, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to show you a demo, and then I want you to start to do that exercise. Okay. Okay. First of all, when we talk about the synopsis, because these are the merging subject with the degree and the diploma. So for the diploma, this is the code ADIB 1002 drawing and painting. The synopsis about this course is the course is to provide the student with hands-on experience of design element, the color, the materials, and the various technique to achieve their own personal style. Okay, and the student will be more familiar with the basic principle and technique for the both painting and drawing by using a variety of media and approaches. That's why when it comes to this, I'm going to introduce you some of the materials, pencils, charcoals, and also some of the acrylic paint and some of the mixed media. Mixed media, there's a lot of mixed media that you can choose. But later when we reach to that chapter, right? So we're going to have a different session when we're going to introduce that particular medium. The class exercise is more deepened to the student to ability to observe, analyze, and intuit, while simultaneously developing the ability of the hand to record and reveal. And you need to concentrate on drawing from your observation, and this course will deal with both representation and abstraction. The figure, the still life, landscape, and architecture will serve as a touchstone for your investigation into the materials and the cognitive possibility of your drawing. Homework assignment will be critical to the learning progress. I'm going to repeat, homework assignment will be critical to the learning progress. Okay, as they will provide students with more practical skill and develop more technique in the drawing painting. And these are the progress to commercial your illustration and your studying of human form, structure, perspective, theories, and the related principles. This course not only cover the precise artistic skill, but the student will need to include the exploration process of the various media from the traditional to contemporary. Okay, this is meant for the diploma. These are the assessment component. For the diploma, assignment 1 is assess 20%, portfolio 20%, group assignment 20%, individual project 30%, and your individual oral presentation 10%. Yeah. Okay, for the degree, it's almost the same. Okay, it's almost the same with the diploma. I'm not going to read this, but the assessment component will be assignment 1 20%, assignment 2 20%, group assignment 20%, individual contribution of individual project 30%, and your individual oral presentation 10%. All right, so we're going to have a chapter 1 which is going to talk about gesture drawing. Okay, I'm going to show you some of the...
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about what you need to do for online discussion 2. So for online discussion 2 will be...
Can you guys hear or not? The video? Can you hear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. There's about a gesture drawing, line drawing, mass drawing, and so this is about very short video that I can share with you, so that from part to part you will understand what actually gesture drawing is all about. Okay, I'm going to continue this.
Doing gesture drawings. I want you to do the gesture drawings in your sketchbook, and I want you to be using compressed charcoal, which I'm providing for you on the second day of class. So in your sketchbook, I want you to draw gesture drawings in mass, line mass combination. And you're going to choose 2 different objects around your house, or create 2 still lives that you will be creating 3 drawings of for each. So I'm going to start by drawing an orchid. And so I have a orchid and vase here in my studio, and I'm going to draw that vase and orchid that you see on your screen. And I'm going to alternate between drawing it in line, mass, and line mass combination. Each of the drawings should be no longer than 3 minutes. So I want these to be quick gestural forms. And we do gesture in order to increase and get better at our hand-eye coordination, and be able to capture our subject very quickly, getting the entire form and essence of the subject in just a few seconds to a few minutes. So I'm going to start with line. And so in my sketchbook, I'm going to draw the orchid using line gesture. And I'm going to start here at the bottom with the vase. And you know, the form that I have is a box. Boxes are hard. Don't worry, we're going to talk about how to tackle boxes in the near future. But I'm going to use line gesture to capture each of the leaves of this orchid. As you're drawing, remember that you want to really try to capture the actual form that you see of whatever's in front of you. So if you have something like this, like a plant, don't start to draw a pattern. You want to make sure that the forms that you're drawing represent what you actually see. That's the other reason why we really need to keep eye contact with our subject, so that we can understand the actual forms and not make assumptions about those forms, but actually try to see and capture what's right in front of us. So here's a line gesture of this orchid. And again, I want you to spend no more than 3 minutes. For the next one, I'm going to use mass. And when I use mass, I want to really think about not only trying to capture the form, but also starting to capture the value of the object itself. So for this orchid, these flowers are white, so I have to work very lightly. This helps us to understand and gain a sense for pressure when we're using this material. Remember not to hold your charcoal like you're drawing with or writing with a pencil. Instead, try turning the charcoal and using the side of the charcoal as you're creating these gesture drawings, even as you're creating line drawings, but definitely when you're working with mass. So I'm going to work with mass gesture. I'm going to really try to alter the pressure of my on my charcoal in order to capture the shadow of a leaf, the edge of a leaf. And the charcoal can just do some really beautiful, interesting things if you start working softly with it rather than the hardest pressure possible. You know, students a lot of times will just kind of forget, or maybe don't know yet, they can alter how much they're pushing down onto the material. So just try to work lightly. So again, I'm using mass in order to capture all the different petals. I'm gonna really start to push down to get some of these like budding little flowers that haven't bloomed yet. And just so you guys know, this is a fake orchid. So they'll never bloom. Very sad. So mass gesture. So again, this was line gesture, mass gesture. And then I want you to create a drawing using both line and mass. The nice thing about using both line and mass is that I personally feel like it feels more comfortable. You can just really think about creating the form and shape with mass, and then giving clarity and a little bit more information using line. I do find that it's one of the most natural ways for us to work, but I want you to understand and get a feel for all these kind of differences and how you can create many different kinds of marks by alternating between line and mass. That's really important because it creates a personal visual vocabulary. So all of a sudden you can start to express what something looks like because you have started to gain all these different ways of making different kinds of marks. And so a mark can be quick, it could be slow, it can be thick, it can be thin, it can be playful, it could be structural. So by starting to use different kinds of marks, you can actually express what you want and what you see. So again, I'm using line and mass here for this gesture drawing of this orchid, and I'm alternating between the two. There's many different ways to do it. This is one. So for your homework, you're choosing two different objects. Here, I'm giving an example of just one, and you're creating a line, a gesture, a mass gesture, line mass combination. And at the end, you will be posting 6 drawings and 2 photographs of the objects that you used for your homework.
Okay, I'm going to continue. Okay, gesture, because in the video they have not shown you a gesture. Right, I'm going to explain about the gesture. Yeah, gesture is to define a movement of the body, so that when we do a gesture drawing, our goal is not to replicate the exact detail of the particular pose, but to capture the sense of movement or motion in the pose. Gesture drawing is very roughly and very quickly. Anything is longer than 5 minutes, and you outside of the gesture drawing territory in terms of the action, shapes, and feel of the figure, distilling it down to the most essential information. Right, something like this. Gesture can be done as a studies for the longer drawing, or it's very simple exercises, all on your own. We call it on your own study. Many artists use gesture as part of their warm-ups and incorporate them into a regular drawing practice. Most of the formal figure drawing session will start each session with a series of brief poses for the gesture drawing before moving on to the longer poses. I strongly recommend working gesture drawing from the photo or from the real life, but unfortunately there's no real life. I will show you some of the example of the picture so that you can start with your gesture drawing later on. Right, and into your regular drawing practice as a way to loosen up on your skills and a some low pressure fun. Okay. In the gesture drawing, you doesn't have to be accurate. Some gesture drawing are more widely exaggerated, capturing the feel of the pose more than the exact proportion. The motion and emotion of the given pose may be more important to communicate than the exact position. And please use your judgment. It's not everything must be straight lines. Curved line, especially when you see in this particular screen here, that you see lines or curved line and ask curves can communicate to generate the organic form of the figure as well as the flow of the pose. Usually that is considered as a backbone. Gesture drawing tends to have a sense of fluidity to it and let your lines be long and loose. Okay. There's no perfect gesture style. Every artist is unique. Find your own rhythm and your method of getting down the gesture drawing, and don't worry too much about whether your gesture drawing look exactly like someone else. Again, it's not about detail. Don't worry about the detail or contour when you draw a gesture, but you don't have time for that. Think about the core of the form, which is I'm going to show you a demo later on with the in the backbone, right? And think about the form and lines of movement. Look at someone looking at the drawing to recognize the emotion of action, not the person feeling the emotion or doing the action. While you are doing the figure, please look longer your drawing, and please find yourself to starting the focus on one area of the figure and working your way out in terms of gesture. Crucial to get sense of the whole figure down at once, and you develop as a whole. Okay, something like this, right? This is a picture how the the example, every each of the movement from time to time, the model change the poses within from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, and from 3 to 1 minute, and going down to second, 30, 15 second, 10 second, 5 second, 3 second, either 1 second. You have to be loosened up. Okay, look at the figure as the whole. Practice doing a lot of quick drawing. Don't rubbing, don't use eraser. Okay, and with your initial in the terms of the period of time. Okay, the best way is drawing from life and drawing from the photo. What the recommended media that I want you to use is a paper and pencil. The best is an A3 size, because when you have your A3 size paper, you're going to develop this as your portfolio. I believe you already have your A3 drawing paper with you, with your charcoal or maybe your pencil as well. Okay, right, so we're going to start. Right, there's about 6 pictures. Okay, there's about 6 pictures that you're going to start with the with each of the drawing. Okay, first, right, picture is going to take you about 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Please take a note. Right, one picture is going to be 5 minutes. Another second picture will be 3 minutes. And after that, move on to the picture number 3 is going to be 1 minute. Picture number 4 going to be 30 seconds. Picture number 5 going to be 10 seconds. And picture number 6 going to be 3 seconds. Right, so I'm going to show first. I'm going to show the demo first. Okay. And after that, later you're going to share with me what actually that you already done. Okay, right, I'm going to have this hold on, I'm going to bring up a little bit. Can you guys see? Can see or not? I need your feedback. All right, so make sure you have your own. Okay, I'm going to show my demo. I'm going to show at least 1 or 2 demo or example. All right, and after that, you're going to start with the whole of the activities here. Okay, Right, so I'm going to share my screen. Hey, you cannot share the screen. Hold on. I'm going to share. Right, hold on, yeah. Okay, hold on, yeah. I want to open my. Okay, for the first figure. Okay, for the first figure. Okay, hold on, yeah. Let me share the first figure with you guys, so that I will understand this. Okay, let me hold on. First figure. You can download this picture, yeah. Later, as for your references, these are the first figure picture. Okay, and these are the second. These are the third. Fourth one. Okay, I'm going to remind you, the first picture is for 5 minutes. Second picture is 3 minutes. Third, it will be 1 minute. Fourth picture is 30 seconds. Five picture is 10 seconds. And six picture is 3 seconds. So I want you to start with the time later after my demo. Okay. From there, you need to do your stopwatch lah. Okay, so I'm going to start with my demo so that please take a look. Okay, the materials, right? Either you can use pencils. Okay, I'm using this 8B pencils. 8B pencil is a little bit more darkened, or maybe there's another types. Okay, this one is a Stadler. The blue one is a Stadler brand 8B. Okay, and this one is a Faber-Castell 8B. And then these are the charcoal stick. Charcoal stick is good for the mass drawing, and also is good for the gesture drawing as well. There's two types of charcoal stick. One is this type, very thick one. Okay. And then this one is a dark tone. This one is more lighter tone. Okay, and instead of charcoal stick, there's another one charcoal stick. Is very thin. That one is quite cheap lah, but I don't have that with me. Another charcoal would be a charcoal pencil. Okay, this one also can be considered to do a lot of drawing as a gesture and also mass drawing. But for those you don't have a charcoal stick, right, that will be fine. But you can use a charcoal pencil as well. Okay, so I'm going to use a charcoal stick to do for the figure number 1. Okay, let me set my time. I'm going to draw about 5 minutes. Okay, let me set my scale right. Okay. Right. So I'm going to study the figure first. Right, the figure is on my screen. This is a 5-minute drawing. These are the focus. Okay. In gesture drawing, you don't need to draw details. Just the emotion and the shapes of that particular subject matter. When you have 5 minutes, most probably you can capture more. The body and the leg. The leg. Something like this. Make sure every time they're giving you a time, every drawing giving a time for you to do your gesture drawing, make sure it have to be a fully 5 given time. For example, if I have 5 minutes, make sure you have that 5 minutes. You cannot just simply draw very short time, but the time is not ended yet. So make sure you have to produce an exact given time. Okay, when start 5 minutes, it's already stopped. Okay. No shading, yeah. In drawing, gesture drawing, there's no shading, yeah. Right. So only to capture the emotion, the movement of the figure. I have about another 30 seconds left. $20 left. And I'm done. 5 minutes. Okay. Can you guys see?
Yes, sir.
Hold on now. Okay, these are the gesture drawing that just now I created. Okay, these are 5-minute gesture drawing. Yeah. So once you already have that 5-minute drawing, okay, make sure you stated there. Figure 1, 5 minutes. Okay, you put here lah. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to do another one for maybe not 3 minutes, maybe I would say about around 30 seconds. Okay, not 30 seconds, I will make it a 10 second will be better. It will be more challenging. Right, just say that I'm already go through all the time, but when it comes to the 30 second or maybe 10 second, it will be more faster and quick. Okay, so let me change my paper first. So all your drawing, make sure you have to handle it very nicely. Yeah, do not crumple or do not fold it, because in the end of the day, you're going to take pictures and you're going to record it into the digital. So everything that you have in your exercise, make sure you put title. These are the gesture drawing. This is from the line drawing, whatsoever. Okay.
So I need to do portfolio, is it?
Yeah. The portfolio is have to become as one the whole series of your exercise. Okay. Right. This is a part of your assignment 1, assignment 2, whatsoever. So you need to state the title on your paper. Okay. Right. The one that you have right now here is become your exercise. So these are the exercise, not assignment 1 yet. Okay. Once we reach until reach chapter 3, and in your week 4, that's going to be your submission of your assignment 1. I'm going to announce this soon when we ended our chapter 3, right? So what is the thing that you're going to submit? Okay, right. So okay, there's a people asking me about what is a tissue pencil, right? Usually, artists they very seldom use as a blending stump. These are the blending stump. We call it as a tissue pencil lah. Right? If you go to Nanyang Art Store, you can buy this with 10 ringgit. There's a series of sizes that you can have. Okay, there's a thicker one, the bigger one. This for the blending. When you reach to the exercise that you need to blend, right? These are the most important tools lah to blend it. But some people use tissue, but I will not recommend you to use tissue, because tissue is hard for you to smudge it. Okay, because you need to smudge it very hard. so that you can get what the tone that you intended to do. Right? You can buy this at Nanyang Art Store. Okay, so these are the blending stump. All right, so I'm going to start with my another picture here. So say that this picture for 10 seconds is going to be picture number 5. Oh, susahnya. Okay, let me have my pencil. Where's my pencil? All right, so this is going to be my 10 second. All right, okay, let me reset first. And I'm going to study. Always study your figure first before you start to do your gesture drawing. Okay, see how the flow of the movement or of the gesture of the person. Once you captured that first, you may start with your time. So I'm going to capture first a few seconds. It's going to very quick 10 seconds. This is for the figure number 5. Oh, okay. This is my 10 second of the gesture drawing. Okay, 10 seconds of my gesture drawing. Okay, these are figure number 5. Right, so once I have finished it, so I'm going to write this figure number 5, 10 seconds. All right, so you will be under gesture drawing. Okay. All right. So any question before you start with the exercise? Any question? Any question, guys? No. Yes. All right. Now, so you can turn on your video, set up your things. Or you already set up? Okay. So I want to see the progress of your work. Okay. So you can just mute your audio first. Okay. So keep going from your progress. So I'm going to give you about 15 minutes to complete the whole set of 5 pictures of your 5 gesture drawing. Don't use eraser, right? Whatever this, have to use your overlapping, right? Don't use eraser. Gesture drawing, then no need to have eraser, because within that 5 or 3 seconds, you don't even have time to erase. Okay, when you start, okay, make sure you study the figure first, capture how the movement look like. And when you start, make sure you start with the time and you can start with your figure drawing. Right? So the stage is yours. You can start anytime. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes for you to complete the whole series of your 6 gesture drawing. Okay, start now. Make sure your drawing can be front and back. Don't waste your paper. But when you finish one drawing, make sure you can continue with the back of your paper. Make sure front and back of your drawing paper complete. Alright, don't use eraser. I saw some of you use eraser. Be confident. It's about 2.5 minutes left. One minute left. Make sure you complete the whole 6 series of your drawing. Ten seconds. 5 seconds. All right, stop. All right, stop. Okay, you can continue later on. Okay, you can continue later on after our class, right? So I'm going to ask you to send all your drawing works after the class. Okay, you send it to Padlet, the one that I already send you the link. Okay, that link, you just type your name and then send each of your drawing that you have right now, and then so that you can we call it. I'm going to comment that from time to time. Okay, I'm going to share this as soon as possible. My comment and my feedback before our next class. Okay, and please take photo of your work and then crop it nicely. Make sure that the line of your drawing must be clear and can be seen. And then after that, you can just send it to the Padlet. Okay, Padlet is the one that we can put it as a portfolio for me to see what is your final work. Okay, clear? Right, so I'm going to continue with our next lesson will be a scribble line drawing. I already sent you 2 pictures. Okay, please download it. Okay, I'm going to explain what is a scribble drawing is all about. Okay, hold on, yeah. Let me open my screen. Okay, these are the link, right? You just click the link, and then make sure you download the Padlet first. If you don't have Padlet, you need to download it. So you just log in into the title is exercise 1 gesture drawing. Okay, make sure you stated your name, and each of your drawing must put figure 1, figure 2, figure 3 until figure 6. All right, so okay, I'm not going to give you a break. Later we're going to have a 10-minute break while we completed the another one, scribble line drawing. So I'm going to discuss about what is a scribble line drawing is all about. Okay, scribble line drawing is similar to regular line gesture, except you are utilizing scribble to apply the value or tone or maybe shading. You need to remember in your understanding of element of art, line, shape, form, texture, and whatsoever, right? Line is very important, that closely grouped together, that given the impression of the darker and the lighter value, or we'll call it as a tone. The more lines that you put it in the area of the concentrated area, the darker it will appear. That means you put more scribble overlapping so that you will get more darker. If you put lesser scribble, it will become a lighter. Okay. Value is very important in scribble. Value is how light or dark something that you can capture. Okay. In drawing, this refers to black and white, and all of the different grays in between. Sometimes there's a grayish in between from light to dark. Okay. Value is our one of the 7 elements in a visual of element of art. And the most important of this particular 7 element. The closer your lines are together, the darker your value will be. In contrast, the further they are apart, that the lighter your value will be. Okay. I'm going to show you some of video so you understand what actually is value is all about. Okay.
Okay, so the next drawing we're going to work on is called the scribbled line gesture. This one is actually related to the gesture drawing that we just did, but this one is a little bit different because we're going to eliminate the detail and you're just going to see your object as more of a solid object. Again, we want to limit your time, but you're going to find that when we take away the detail that you actually don't need very much time. So maybe about 2 minutes for this one. I would start off with 2 minutes on your timer, and if you find you need a little bit more, give yourself 3 minutes. The way that you want to think of this drawing is that it's more like a silhouette. So it's just going to be filling in the basic shapes and working on the relationship of the placement of the shapes. Another way to think of it is that we're really working on proportion, which is just the relationship between sizes. So by eliminating all the detail, we're just stripping the object down to the basic parts, and you're going to be able to get things in better proportion, which will make you a much better artist in the long run. This is a great practice exercise, and it's something that's going to help you to build your hand-eye coordination. Okay, so to start with, for the scribbled line gesture drawing, you want to start in the center of the largest part of the object that you're drawing. So for this example, I'm going to start in the center of the body of the donkey because that's the largest part. And you can see any type of scribble that fits the shape of your subject is fine. You could do straight lines, you could do curvy lines. It really doesn't matter what your scribbles look like. The other thing that you're going to notice is that because I'm drawing from the center to the outside, I'm not outlining at all. So I'm drawing as if I'm shading in the entire volume of the object at once. And I'm going to start with those large parts, and then I'm going to add the smaller and medium parts. Actually, you can see I did the medium parts first. That's the way you want to do it. Then you can add the smaller parts as you go. You might change the shape of your scribble as you move to a different part. So when I'm doing the leg, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a different shape scribble just because it's easier to fit it into that shape. the whole time that I'm drawing, I'm going to be looking back and forth between my object and the paper. And you can see that if I decide that something's a little bit off, I'm not going to take the time to erase, but I'm just going to darken an area as if that means that I wanted to make a correction. And if you have time, you might add some smaller details like the tail, the ears, the hair of the donkey, but you might not find that you have time for that, and that's okay too.
All right. Okay, these are the example by using a pen or ink to capture the figure or the face of the impression of the subject matter. There's a type of scribble drawing. There's a couple of different approaches to doing a scribble drawing. Which technique that you see is more personal choice, and really just depend on what you are trying to achieve. You have obviously you have to more control over your artwork if you allow yourself to leave your pen off or your drawing or your pencil off of your paper. But it's your opinion. This is based on your decision. But there are some artists, they will not lift up their pencil off the paper. They will continuously draw the scribble without lifting up the pencil or pen. There are some artists, the scribble, the one that you see just now in the video, the artist is scribble it, but at the same time also she lift up so that she can continue with other component. So that one you can decide, no problem. Okay. However, do not push your creativity until to the extent your pen or your subject matter is not in the exact form. You have to study the form. You need to study the value and so on. Okay. Make sure you complete until you finish your drawing. Okay. This is also one of the important example, right? This one is without lifting up the pen or pencil on from the paper. Yeah, will continue, right? You can stop, but you just only stop your pencil on your paper, but do not stop lifting up. But if you feel that you decide you want to lift up, it's okay, right? But that will be considered when you lift up. That will be considered as a broken line. Scribble line drawing. Right? You will no longer become continuous line drawing, because continuous line drawing have two different types of style. One is continuously, which you do not lift up your pencil. Another one, broken line, is you scribble it on paper, but at the same time you lift up your pencil. Okay. The continuous line drawing is where you're going to pick the spot to start your drawing and never lift up your drawing from the paper until you finish with your initial project. Okay, these are the one that you need to have, that we call it as a broken line. Okay, broken line, you can start and stop as you need it while you are working your drawing. Scribble drawing is usually done with the ink, but not always as an option. If you use a pencil or charcoal, right, you can start to do that first. But while you are comfortable with that, the pencil and charcoal, you may use ink or pen, right, to do your scribble. And okay, I'm going to show this as one of the example, but I'm going to only show you only one part, which is going to be your figure number 1. Okay, as what I already upload the figure 1, you need to have these two pictures for you to do your scribble. Okay, I'm going to share my video first. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. All right. So I'm going to scribble the cube duck here. Okay, first of all, I'm going to have the area part. Okay, so I'm going to start with the body first. But my technique, I'm not going to do a broken line. I'm going to do a continuous line, which I cannot lift up my pencil. I'm going to see my back and forth, how I'm going to have this to capture the subject matter. While I'm doing this, I will make sure that where is the darker area that I want to emphasize. And I'm going to go with the head. This one you don't need to have time. Make sure the time given is only how you're going to end up your scribble drawing. Okay, so I'm going to focus a little bit on the darker area. So I emphasize my pressure here, the pencils. You don't need to have a details, right? So the leg is a bit darker. All right. Okay, so this is going to be the scribble. Right, the scribble drawing for the duck. I think my duck is quite slim pula. Okay, so right, so I think you can do better to capture the shape. Okay, but as long you know what's the technique, you can choose the technique whether you can have a continuous line or you can choose to have a broken line. So that means broken line you can lift up lah. But when you use a broken line, it's more relaxed as your hand is not tiring. But when you choose a continuous line, your hand will getting tired. But once you feel tired, do not continue. But you can stop for a while, a few seconds, and you may continue without lifting up your pencil. Right? Okay. All right. So, okay, this one I'm going to give you about maybe around 20 minutes for you to complete the whole figure 1 and figure 2. So make sure one drawing should have to be A3 size for figure 1. So for the figure 2, you need to have another A3 size new paper. Okay, right, so you can start within that. I give you 20 minutes and I'm going to send you the link for the Padlet later on. Okay, you can start now. It's about 7 minutes left. Make sure on your drawing stated what technique of scribble that you choose, either continuous line drawing or broken line drawing. Okay. 2 more minutes. Okay, you can stop. Right, you can stop. So once you already complete the scribble drawing, in your chat box, I already sent you the link for the Padlet, because gesture drawing, that will be a different Padlet, and for scribble drawing also got different Padlet link. So I want you to prepare this.